All right, welcome into another Coach's Corner, everybody. This is a bonus. We tried to do this last week, it did not work, but welcoming in Audrey. It has been a long time since we have gone live together.
It has, I don't know, maybe, at least a year. Has to be a year, right?
I know, I
Yeah.
know, I know. At least a year that we have done this. So I'm excited for you to be talking about skin health. We left that back in June, but we're bringing it back around just one more time because this is an important topic and I think people are curious about Ayurveda. So thanks for being on the Coach's Corner. For those of you who don't know me, I'm Gina Ramirez, a certified health coach, a licensed therapist, and I talk everything health and wellness from the mind, the body, and the behavior. And this month is July, which we are talking about mid-year review, reviewing our goals. But this is a little bonus. We're going back in time to talk about skin health, and I will let Audrey introduce herself.
Yeah. So I am Audrey, and I'm a certified health coach as well as Gina, and also certified in Ayurvedic nutrition and lifestyle. So I'm not sure how much of your audience knows about Ayurveda, how deep we need to go, how simplified we need to make it to be. So we'll just go with some simple questions. And I don't know, can anybody, we're not live to the point to where anybody can answer or ask questions on here with us, right?
Well, it looks like there's one person watching. I can't
Okay,
tell who it is, but if you have questions, whoever it is, you can put it down in the comments and I will, yeah, relay that to Audrey. But
good.
we
Yeah,
will
because I can't
start,
do that.
yeah, no, we will definitely start with what Ayurveda is. So if you want to go into detail about that a
Yeah,
little bit.
so that's a big question, and it's very deep, and sometimes it's very hard to explain. So I'll try to just keep it simplified for the fact that we don't want to take up everybody's time on this call. But Ayurveda is ancient Western medicine. It's one of the first medicines to come around. It's a holistic healthcare system that connects the mind, body, spirit, us as a whole, as well as connects us with nature. So Ayurveda is Sanskrit. It's stemmed from India over 6,000 years ago now, and it stands for science of life. So that's kind of like just a little basic there, but it is based on the belief, like I said, that our body is a whole, and the imbalances with our body causes disease. And even skin health, like acne, rashes, dry skin, is considered disease in the body. So we'd want to get down to the root cause and then find those imbalances in our body. And how we're able to do that is, and we're going to get into the doshas a little bit, but we are all born with the five elements of nature in us: air, space, fire, water, and earth. And that throughout our life, these elements also in nature affect us, the things that we eat, the programs we watched on TV, um, just our lifestyle in general throws us out of balance. And that's when we have some health issues.
Yeah, I'm super fascinated by the way that everything is connected together and the way that this particular system sees health and the body. And I think it's so easy for us to, look at our skin, the skin on our face, see, like we were talking earlier about I was having some dry issues and going, oh, let me just put something topically on that and not pay attention to what's going on inside my body. Why would I even be getting dry right now? Like, there's no reason. I haven't been out in the sun, all the things that we think of, but we go for the quick fix.
Right, because I mean, medicine nowadays is, I mean, when doctors go, and not bashing doctors at all, because I'm very grateful for the system that we have in place, but they practice medicine. So, oh, you have an issue. What is the medicine, or what is the cream that's going to help with the dryness, or whatever it is that we can add to your body to try to fix that, versus getting down to the root cause, find what our natural state of health is, and then applying some techniques to balance out our body from that root cause, and then it's going to show on the outside.
Yeah. And it's super frustrating when those quick fixes don't work, right? And we're just trying one quick fix after another, and it's not really helping us. We've got
Well,
to get down to the root.
we don't have time to get down to the root is the society that we live in, right? We're busy. We work. We've
Right.
got kids in school. We've got so many things. So the quick fix, it sounds appealing, and it sounds like, oh, finally something to help with the wrinkles or help with this, acne that we're dealing with or whatever it is, right? So
Hmm.
it's just easy for us to click a button, order it online or whatever it is, and then hope that fixes us. And it might like help temporary, but nothing is going to fix unless we take the time, get to the root cause, and it takes time, a lot of
Yeah.
time. Yeah.
Absolutely. So, talk about the doshas because I think when people hear Ayurveda, they're more inclined to recognize maybe the doshas, or at least that was for me.
Yeah, yeah, because if you've ever dabbled into Ayurveda a little bit or seen anything on it, the doshas is what pops up, and those three
Mhm.
doshas are Vata, Pitta, and Kapha. So those are the keywords that everybody really kind of understands and has heard at some point in time. And I said that when we are born, we're born with these natural elements, the five elements in our body. And each of us are born at with different amount of elements in us. So those doshas kind of categorize the body types that have more of a certain element. So Vata body type has more space and air in them. And then Pitta has more fire, water, and then Kapha has more water and earth. So when you know which elements dominates, and we have all five, but some of them are going to dominate. And then sometimes we're going to have a Vata Pitta person or a Pitta Kapha person, because they're dominant in these elements and then a medium amount of the other ones and very little. So that's how we recognize what our natural body type is. And then as we become unbalanced, we look for those qualities to bring us back to balance. So there's a saying in Ayurveda, like attracts like and opposite creates balance. So anytime that we're adding like to our lives, we're going out of balance, which seems weird, right? You think, oh, but it's just fueling the fire. And so we need to find things that would create that balance in us that's opposite. Um, so yeah, Vata, Pitta, Kapha. Vata, more space and air. Pitta, more fire, water, and Kapha, more earth and water.
Yeah. So, how does that translate to our skin?
Yeah, so good question. Are you asking like for disease, like issues, or how do we recognize our skin?
Yeah. Like more, how would we recognize our skin? How does that transfer? For me, I know I'm more pitta.
Mhm.
So, what does that mean for my skin?
So you have more of the fire and water element in your body, right? Because you're
Mhm.
more pitta. So what are some of the issues that you have with your skin?
Oily, for
Hmm.
sure, more acne. Yeah, I don't have a lot of wrinkles right now. It's coming. But yeah, I mean, as we age, obviously we're going to notice more of that, but more of the oily
Hmm.
acne problems, those I would say are problem areas.
Yeah, so it's a good thing to have oily skin and the fact of you're not going to wrinkle as fast as somebody who has more Vata skin type. So that's the good thing. But the bad thing is those oils, that's the quality of Pitta, is to be a little bit oily, hot, wet because of the water in there. And so when you are doing certain things, like you're on vacation and you're in Florida and the sun's shining, so there's a lot of fire and heat, and you're by the ocean and there's a lot of water, and you're adding a lot of oils, extra oils to your skin for protection. You're probably having a Mai Tai on the beach, which alcohol is, it's kind of aggravating to Pitta people. If you're eating chips and salsa, the spiciness from that, or you're having like grilled fajitas with onions and garlic, those things can trigger the fire in you because the qualities in those foods and the environment around you, you're taking it in through all five of your senses, right? You're seeing this with your eyes, you're taking it in with your ears, you're traveling, right? There's a lot of stress going on, And then you're feeding your body with these types of food that's aggravating you. So you might tend to be a little bit more oilier, or you start to break out. So it's just more than just stress that causes acne in people. So that's the example of, a pitta person. For me, being more vata, more space and air in me that's dominant, I have the dry skin. I have the very thin skin, the skin that wrinkles faster than most, right? So, like, I was living in New Mexico before moving here, and the qualities in New Mexico, the environment around me is dry, hot, windy, right? So that is just feeding the fuel of my already dry, hot, windy body, right? Being vata and pitta. Um, so I felt like I was aging really fast in the last 2 years that I was there. And then coming here to the East Coast, it's more humid and there's less wind and there's a lot of water from the oceans a couple hours away, but I can still feel that in my body. And I notice even after being here for a month, the changes in my skin based on my environment without even changing what I was eating or anything else. So
Yeah.
it's really cool how, yes, there's little things that you can change for your health, but that one thing is not going to fix all your problems, right? But yeah,
Yeah.
so my body needed more of that moisture, more of the humidity to kind of balance me out because I am so dry to begin with as my original natural body type.
Yeah, and what I love so much about this is that the more you know, the more control that you just innately have over your skin, your body, how you feel. Ayurveda is more than just what we're talking about with skin. I mean, it is everything. You can, point back to something related to your body type. And so thinking about, yeah, I may not be able to change my environment as far as where I live right now, but I could change my foods. I could change what I'm doing day to day, my lifestyle to help balance out my already, nature, whatever that nature is for you. So, yeah,
Yeah, and it's a good point because Ayurveda is about creating an awareness. And, like we can often make up excuses of why we can't do certain things or like, oh, this is why it's happening because I have to live in this state or I have to live in this country and it's just going to be that way because I don't have any other options. We do have options. We have to work with what we have and then have that awareness. So if you know that you live in a dry climate like New Mexico and you're a vata dominant person, what are the things that we're going to be doing to kind of balance that out and work with what we have? And, am I going to be road tripping and driving back and forth? That the movement of even road tripping can cause imbalances. So it's just having that awareness. And that's what I really love about it. It's not trying to live this perfect lifestyle because that can get very stressful and we don't live in a perfect world. But yeah, just knowing where our body is supposed to be and then how do we bring it back to balance when little life
right.
things happen. Yeah.
Right, because it's not that we're going to remain in balance always. Like you said, we're going to have to live our life. There's going to be stress involved. You're going to be traveling. There's going to be things that come up. But how quickly can you get back to balance? How quickly can you recognize, oh, yeah, that probably is throwing me off a little bit. I need to come back to center, and come back to balance for myself, whatever that may mean for you. So, how do we take care of our skin given all this information?
Yeah. And just like you just mentioned, that how do we bring ourselves back to balance quickly? We can know what things are going to bring us out of balance beforehand, before we take that trip, before we know we're going to go out with friends and eat dinner late at night and have drinks. Like, so we can already start planning what are the things that we're going to be doing beforehand when you have that awareness. And that's what I love about this is, like I said, we know that there's going to be some life cycles that happen and how can we plan for it? And then if it happens unexpectedly, how do we get back to the state of balance?
Right.
So yeah, I mean there's so much that you can do to take care of our skin at this point. I think the biggest thing is what we feed our body. What are we eating? Because
Hmm.
inside out, that's what affects our skin the most, making sure that we're eating, whole foods, healthy fats, lean fishes, if that's what you eat, lots of plants, lots of berries. We're in the summertime. Berry time is, I mean, water. In Ayurveda, we do recommend to drink water at room temperature, such as your bodies, because when it's too cold or too hot, it could affect your balance, natural state of balance as well. So a warm glass of water first thing when you wake up in the morning, and sipping on water, not chugging water. If you go through your
Yeah.
system too fast, it's not really nourishing your body the way it's supposed to be. So
Right.
that's probably the biggest thing, is what we are putting in our bodies, versus what we're rubbing on the outside of our bodies.
Yeah, for sure. So much to dig into. So, if people were interested in trying to figure out what their dosha is, like how do they get more information from you about all of this?
Yeah, well, honestly, you can go on Google and Google dosha quiz, and there's going to be a million that pop up everywhere, right? And what are we learning in Ayurveda recently is a lot of these dosha quizzes are very confusing to people, as is it's got questions of your natural state of balance, like figuring out your body type, of the shape of your eyes, the color of your tongue, the shape of your chin. There's ways that we can tell what dosha people are just by looking at their body structure. Do they have really thin bones, really thin wrists? That leads to more vata people, right? Are they really muscular? This is somebody that can gain muscle real well. This is going to be pitta people. So, there's those questions, but then there's questions about your imbalances in your body. Do you suffer from acne? Do you suffer from this? Which you're more prone to it, but it also kind of confuses people, as they don't know what their natural state is and what their imbalances are. Because you can be
Mm,
very confused on what your body type is based on all the environmental factors in the world, that we have today. So I think a lot of people have a lot of vata issues because we're scrolling on our phones, and
mhm.
like everything's so fast. You can order on Amazon and have it in your house in 2 seconds. And so it kind of throws us off a little bit. So like you said, you can go on, take a quiz just to kind of get an idea for fun. I can post a link, or have you post a link.
Yeah.
My first quiz is your natural body type. Let's discover who you are first before we start discovering all the imbalances that you have. Once you go through that and we know that, then we can do another quiz to kind of look at your imbalances and then what we need to
Mm.
bring back to your state of balance. So,
Yeah, that's such a good point because it can get super confusing. And we need to start, at the foundation level of what were we born with? What do we have
yeah.
to work with? And then get into all the other stuff.
Yeah,
So,
it's real easy to take free information from all these different avenues and kind of put it together and make it work. And it's really good to do that, to start educating ourselves. However, having a coach at the palm of your hand, someone that you can be able to work with this, is it's just going to
yes.
be a lot safer for you, making sure you make the right decisions. Because even in holistic health, herbs, supplements, those types of things, you can have too much of a good thing. So I really encourage everybody to just, have some kind of health coach in the back pocket, to where they can actually work with, versus just taking information here and there and trying to apply with it, and then getting frustrated that the program is not working.
Exactly. Exactly. Awesome. So I will leave a link down below how you can get more from Audrey or hear more from her. Anything else that you want to add before we wrap this up?
I don't think so. Just nourish your skin from the inside out. Focus on the foods that you're eating, and really look at the ingredients of the product that you're putting on side. Less is, or on the outside. Less is more. We don't need all that junk.
Absolutely. There are so many toxins in our beauty products and our hair products. So we really need to be careful about what goes on our bodies as well as in our bodies. All right. Well, thank you so much, Audrey. We're going to wrap up this Coach's Corner and I will see you guys on Wednesday. Have a great 4th of July and we'll see everybody next time.
Thanks, Gina.